Clear throat, assume old professor voice. Hem. Hufflepuff wins the house cup.
Yes! Yes! I'm happy. Hufflepuff wins the house cup. Yay.
Hufflepuff earned the house cup.
Aww, thank you.
Welcome to Tea and Toffees, a weekly VTuber podcast. Hello, I'm Neitshayd, your local undead demon.
And hello, I'm Cecilia. I was a witch in my previous life.
Crap, I'm still bleeding. Damn it.
Should I ask?
Wait, let me...
Where you are bleeding?
One of my fingers. I don't know why. It's the same one that started bleeding last time, but it's a different wound, I think. Why am I bleeding?
I don't know. Did you cut yourself somewhere? Do you need a band-aid?
I didn't cut myself somewhere, but... well, anyway, sorry. Alright. We are picking off at chapter 10 of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone this week, and we'll finally finish the first book of this horrible, dreadful book series.
You sound so enthusiastic. Wow.
Yes, totally. This week's question! I couldn't think of anything, so it's a bit random. Well, not. There are dragons in these books. There is a dragon in this one, and there are dragons in a later one. So, would you be a dragon or a dragon rider?
Dragon riders don't exist in Harry Potter?
Psh, they very well could, and Harry just never noticed.
True.
So?
I have never really thought about something like this. Maybe a dragon rider? But I'm not very confident in this answer.
I would be a dragon without a rider. I will eat anyone who tries to tame me. If dragon shifter were an option, then that, but it isn't. So yeah. The only downside is that it's rather hard for a dragon to read books.
Yeah, dragon shapeshifter is sadly not an option. Otherwise, I would have gone for that as well. But if you eat anyone who tries to tame you, would you eat me if I tried?
Yes.
How about not taming, but befriending?
I would still eat you.
Well, screw me, I suppose.
Yeah. Alright. What kind of dragon? The dragon breeds listed in Fantastic Beasts are Antipodian Opal Eye, Chinese Fireball, sometimes also known as Lion Dragon, which this is a breed I have issues with, so you're not allowed to choose that one. I have cultural issues with that one. Anyway, Common Welsh Green, Hebridean Black, Hungarian Horntail, Norwegian Ridgeback, Peruvian Vipertooth, Romanian Longhorn, Swedish Short Snout, and Ukrainian Ironbelly.
That's a lot of dragon species.
Not really. I have one of my 2 editions of Fantastic Beasts right here, so if you want me to read a paragraph or 2, all of them, you could.
While listening to you telling me about all the species would be nice, then this would turn into a book reading, and we are not a book reading podcast. So just tell me about the ones you think that would fit me best.
Well, let me first try to find the right page. Introduction. D dragon. There we go. I think Antipodian Opal Eye or Common Welsh Green would fit you best, so let me just... The Opal Eye is a native of New Zealand, though it has been known to migrate to Australia when territory becomes scarce in its native land. Unusually for a dragon, it dwells in valleys rather than mountains. It is of medium size, between 2 and 3 tons. Perhaps the most beautiful type of dragon, it has iridescent, pearly scales and glittering, multicolored, pupil-less eyes. Hence its name. This dragon produces a very vivid scarlet flame, though by dragon standards it is not particularly aggressive, and this is the part I think fits you, and will rarely kill you unless hungry. Its favorite food is sheep, though it has been known to attack larger prey. A spate of kangaroo killings in the late 1970s were attributed to a male opal eye ousted from his homeland by a dominant female. Opal eye eggs are pale grey and may be mistaken for fossils by unwary muggles. So, it's beautiful and mild-mannered, I'd say.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
That sounds nice, yes.
And the other one, the Welsh green, blends well with the lush grass of its homeland, though it nests in the higher mountains, where a reservation has been established for its preservation. The Ulfracombe, don't know how to pronounce that, incident notwithstanding, see introduction, I'm not going to read that, this breed is among the least troublesome of the dragons, preferring, like the opal eye, to prey on sheep and actively avoiding humans unless provoked. The Welsh green has an easily recognizable and surprisingly melodious roar. Fire is issued in thin jets. The Welsh green's eggs are an earthy brown flecked with green. So yeah, out of all of the dragons listed in Fantastic Beasts, these two are like the least ferocious, which I think fits with you.
Yeah, I think they would fit. It's hard to decide which one I would be or want to be.
Well, I think didn't you decide for Dragon Rider? So
yeah, true.
Choose the opal eye.
Yes.
It's pretty.
Yes, opal eye. I'm gonna have an opal eye. So I guess I'm not gonna live in Great Britain or Wales.
Well, who cares?
Welsh. But yeah,
Who cares?
New Zealand, Australia, yeah, could be nice.
I'd go for New Zealand because the wildlife in Australia is a bit spiders.
A lot of spiders and snakes.
Snakes I'm fine with, but spiders.
Spiders, snakes, and other animals that are very dangerous. So
we
New Zealand
talked about the spider issue in the Magnus Archive episode. But anyway, so I'm the opposite of you. For me, it would be the Hungarian horntail because it eats humans, or a Hebridean black, also pretty and aggressive. You want me to read the entries or
yes,
move on?
I want to know.
Okay. Well, the Hebridean black is right underneath the Welsh green. So let me... Britain's other native dragon is more aggressive than its Welsh counterpart. It requires a territory of as much as 100 square miles per dragon. Up to 30 feet in length, the Hebridean black is rough-scaled with brilliant purple eyes and a line of shallow but razor-sharp ridges along its back. Its tail is tipped by an arrow-shaped spike, and it has bat-like wings. And there's a picture in the way. The Hebridean black feeds mostly on deer, though it has been known to carry off large dogs and even cattle. The wizard clan MacFusty, who have dwelled in the Hebrides for centuries, have traditionally taken responsibility for the management of their native dragons. And the Hungarian horntail is right underneath. Supposedly the most dangerous of all dragon breeds, the Hungarian horntail has scales, black scales, and is lizard-like in appearance. It has yellow eyes, bronze horns, and similarly colored spikes that protrude from its long tail. The horntail has one of the longest fire-breathing ranges, up to 50 feet. Its eggs are cement-colored and particularly hard-shelled. The young club their way out using their tails, whose spikes are well developed at birth. The Hungarian horntail feeds on goats, sheep, and, whenever possible, humans. Which is why I like it so much, because it feeds on humans, and me as a dragon would totally eat humans.
Yeah.
But the other one, the Hebridean black is very pretty. It's black with purple eyes. So
didn't you just read that the Hungarian horntail is also blackish and has black scales?
Yeah, it's dark with bronze or something, but I like both. They're aggressive, so lovely.
Either way, I was listening to this and was like, yeah, Hungarian horntail, like a lot of spikes and a bit lizard-like and like a very long, like fire-breathing ability, so that you can just burn humans alive and then eat them. Would you want to eat them
roast
alive?
them. Fresh human roast.
Fresh human roast. Yeah.
That probably tastes better, but living humans give off so much delicious fear.
Yeah.
Well, wrong universe. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so Chapter 10, Halloween. Let's get right into it.
Yes.
So what I've noticed, I mean, this is only book 1, but we obviously know what happens in the other books. Everything always happens on Halloween. I wonder whether there's a special magic to it. Would make sense considering the Zoane traditions, but I doubt you know who actually actively thought to incorporate that and merely thought the date fitting, so...
Yeah, I vote for the latter, that she didn't put much thought into this and just decided the date would be fitting.
Yes. Okay, so deep breath. I need to take a deep breath. Of course Harry would get the special treatment. Of course he would. I wonder how the parcel was wrapped, if no one could immediately identify it as a broom. I also wonder who paid for it.
Special magic wrapping paper, maybe? That way you don't need a box in order to hide the shape of the gift.
Yeah, no. Wait. Wrapping? Can the paper beatbox or something? Can it beatbox?
No. The paper can't beatbox. I said wrapping paper. Not wrapping paper, wrapping. There's a W in front, but English.
That's not what you wrote.
English pronunciation is hard anyways.
Yeah, and you didn't write that, so the W is missing there. Anyway.
Maybe.
So, Quidditch is stupid.
Or maybe the paper did wrap and Harry just didn't notice.
I think he would have included that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Quidditch is stupid. It makes no sense. I hate Quidditch. That is all I have to say on the matter.
I have nothing to add to this comment. Nothing at all.
Alright, where were we? Broom-shaped parcel that definitely doesn't scream special treatment acquired. Quidditch. Know it all sufficiently put in her place. Actually, on that note, that's a very long time to be crying in the bathroom, Hermione. Aren't you dehydrated, you poor thing? Or is tap water at Hogwarts safe to drink?
One can drink the tap water in Scotland, but I doubt that Scottish water supplies Hogwarts as well and conducts regular tests there. So who knows? And I also kind of made a note about there being a key in the lock of the girls' bathroom that has a very high potential for bullying, in my opinion. Just lock someone in. But I suppose Alohomora is a thing, which brings us back to the why keys in the first place question.
Oh, you mean the one on the main door to the corridor?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's odd. That's odd.
Yeah.
Back to Halloween. Oh yeah. Troll in the dungeons! Thought you ought to know.
Prefects, lead your houses back to the dormitories immediately.
Our dormitories are in the dungeons. You bar me out.
Yeah.
And, well, Hufflepuff might not be as far down as we are, but their way also leads at least in the same direction. So the moment the troll decides to come upstairs, it will meet both Slytherin and Hufflepuff and squash us into bits.
Yeah. It just shows us that Dumbledore doesn't care about our houses. He doesn't care. Just go to the dungeons. Go towards where the troll is. Yeah, do that. And we also don't even know how long Quirrell took to get to the Great Hall. I mean, maybe the troll even followed him and is already on his way up the stairs. So the moment we exit the Great Hall and turn to the stairs, there could just be a troll standing there, and then we would be like, "Hello, troll. Now we are facing you because we were told to go exactly here instead of staying in the place where we are safe, in the Great Hall."
Yeah, exactly. Why couldn't they have just left all the students in the Great Hall and barricaded that? Seems like the safest option to me.
Yeah, same. Seems like the safest option. Let a few teachers stay there, send the other teachers out to go and fight the troll or find it and fight it. But yeah, why would they do that? Because, well, Hogwarts, it does its best to be a safety hazard, doesn't it? So let's send students towards a troll.
It's a third year in reverse, where they brought everyone to the Great Hall on Halloween because of mass murderer Sirius Black, when it would have made more sense to leave the students in the dormitories.
Because Hogwarts does his best to be a safety hazard.
Yeah, we can't say that often enough.
Yeah, that's just
Also,
a thing.
Are they just leaving Quirrell on the floor?
Yep. Quirrell stays on the floor.
Yeah, checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Harry, dear, go and tell a bloody teacher about Hermione. Or a prefect. There should be at least 2 prefects around.
But he doesn't trust adults. And but I have no excuse for the not asking the prefect. Because they are not adults, they are also still...
Well, it's time to be a hero and save the day, I guess. How very convenient that they learned the spell that would save them on that very same day.
Yeah, how very convenient.
It's the same... Yeah, it's the same chapter, and it's not even the same chapter, it's the same day. They just learned it that day.
Like, yes.
And it's the reason why Hermione is in the bathroom, because she dared to correct Ron, and oh my gosh.
It's just all very convenient indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And how did Ron even get a metal pipe to hit the troll with?
Well, it's an old bathroom that got smashed to bits by a troll with a club.
Oh yeah, the smashing started before that.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow when I read that, I was like, where did he get the metal pipe from? Are there just metal pipes lying around here? Totally forgetting that the troll had already started smashing stuff to bits, so maybe there was a metal pipe around somewhere. Who knows?
I still think that Hermione's lie was absolutely unnecessary. It doesn't fit her personality. Just tell them you were in the bathroom. No need to tell them why. People need to go to the bathroom all the time. That's perfectly normal. Humans do, at least. And Harry and Ron remembered you had gone to the bathroom to freshen up and went to tell you about the troll and make sure you were safe. So, oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, friend acquired, I guess.
Yeah, now, why would there be a need for all of this to make sense and fit with the characters?
Had it been Draco or someone else, would this have worked just as well?
Probably not. No.
Oh, poor Draco.
Yeah, poor Draco. Poor guy.
Oh yeah, they get 5 points instead of 50 each. Ah, good old times. Good old times.
Yeah, good old times. This was before the point inflation began. Like, sadly, it won't last long.
Chapter 11. Quidditch. Yeah, not talking about that one. Nope.
Yeah, so then I'm just gonna talk about it if you're just like, nope.
No! No!
So anyways, there are 400 ways of committing a foul. Like, must be a long-ass rule book, if you ask me. Like, okay, now let's talk about Quidditch a bit.
No!
Yes. Why do wizards only have one sport? Why do they only have Quidditch? Like, they have magic. There is so much potential for other magical sports.
Because bad author.
Yeah, I suppose. Bad author. Yeah, very much true. But I have the feeling that like Quidditch is based on football or soccer for the American people. Oh, wait. Maybe, what's it called? Handball? Like, you toss a ball back and forth between teammates and try to score a goal. And just instead of a big net, we have 3 goal posts. And then we add some distraction in the form of bludgers and a stupid way to end the game via snitch. Yeah. It fits with the stupidity of the rest of this wizarding world. And Quidditch is also so unfair in Hogwarts in terms of brooms. Like, you have to use your own broom. So children from a family that is not well off are already at a disadvantage. Like, Give them all school brooms that are the exact same. Then it requires skill to make the team. You need to improve your skills to stay on the team, and only having your parents buying you the newest broom wouldn't be enough. It would be so much better.
Yes, indeed. Well, the snitch already totally unbalances the whole game. It makes all the other players technically redundant, so It's give your seeker the best broom ever and you basically won the game.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, was that a police car? I heard a siren.
Yes, there is a siren, and yeah, that sounds like a police car.
Could be an ambulance. Well, I don't know. Do police cars and ambulances have different sirens?
I think they're slightly different. Yes.
Anyway,
it's like always like the fire brigade, the fire people. Those are easily recognizable, and then the ambulance. It's like also if I hear an ambulance, I usually know it's an ambulance, and then I hear the police car siren, and then it's like, wait, is that an ambulance or is it the police car? With that one, I'm every time, and I'm unsure. It's most likely a police car.
I can't remember if I know. I don't know if I would notice. Probably in the moment, but I would forget all about it afterwards. Anyway, so
yeah,
where were we? The stupid Quidditch. Okay. It's just the whole wizarding world treats Quidditch the way humans treat football/soccer, which is way too much fanatism. Why is watching some random people run after a ball so interesting? Why does that make humans so compassionate about a specific team of random people that they need to shout it out to the world and get drunk and vandalize properties and be loud and annoying, and they have so much passion that their last brain cells fail them completely? I am unable to comprehend this.
Yeah, I can't either. No. And like, they also teach their 3-year-old children how to chant the name of their local soccer team. Like, or maybe the child was even younger than that, because it couldn't even pronounce it properly. Like, it took me a bit to figure out what they were actually chanting, because at first it sounded like an anime character to me. And then I figured out, oh no, they are not talking about an anime character. They are chanting the name of the local football or soccer club. And I like, why?
If you want to be a British person, which you aren't, then it would still be football.
Still be football?
Yes.
It's confusing at times.
Do you know why the Americans call it soccer? Because they have American football.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Which I don't
that,
understand, because American football doesn't have anything to do with feet.
No. Well, you can kick the ball thingy through the. Is it called a goalpost? I don't even know. It's like something like. What's it? And then there's something called a kickoff, which, but sounds like you're like kicking the ball. Anyways, I don't want to talk about American football. I want to talk about, why are you like, if you're already taking inspiration from existing sports, then how about taking inspiration also from other existing sports? Like, how about sprints and obstacle courses? You could do that with brooms with you, so that you can add some magic into it. Like, maybe with the sprints, have an area where you can accelerate and an area where you need to come to a full stop. Then overall speed would not be as important. It would be equally important to be able to accelerate and brake really fast. And with the obstacle courses, it would be a bit similar. Like, you need to be agile, like accelerate and brake fast to change course.
I really don't like the word break as a verb.
Then give me a better word.
You'd have to restructure your sentences for that.
So I'm just gonna leave it as is and continue. Yeah, with the obstacle courses, you could maybe even add some spell casting, maybe? Like, some obstacles could maybe be destroyed. You could have different strategies that way. Some would choose to go around all obstacles and show amazing skills with a broom. others, could go around some obstacles but obliterate others, and spell casting at high speed with accuracy and precision can also be a skill that you could then train and apply in this sport. And you could also have sports that don't involve brooms at all, because you don't need brooms for everything, you know?
Well, obstacle courses without brooms, but with lots of magic involved either way sound fun, I guess.
Yes.
And they sound like a safety nightmare. So fitting
yes.
for Hogwarts.
Yeah, Hogwarts is a safety hazard, as we know. So add more safety nightmares.
You could also like obstacle courses that are impossible to get through without utilizing magic. Don't only have the obstacles be magical, also make it impossible to not use magic. Like, I don't know, underwater stuff, or which you need to breathe underwater and also cast non-verbal spells. Should be for upper years only, of course.
Yeah, and how fitting that an ambulance goes past when we are talking about safety hazards doing sports. Maybe
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
Did it not have a siren? No.
There was another
Didn't pick that
siren,
up.
and this time I recognized it as an ambulance. Who knows?
Well, I see. Does that mean I have to keep it in this time?
I mean, maybe it's not even. Maybe you can't hear it in the audio. You will have to wait and see. But anyways, back to the magical sports with waters. Like, maybe you utilize the Great Lake or other bodies of water. Like maybe a race to get across the lake without brooms. Like, someone could choose to go on the surface, maybe by charming their shoes, for example, or another person might just decide to charm the surface of the lake to run across. Second person could transfigure an object into a boat or something similar. Then maybe have a third participant go underwater. There are multiple ways, like we see in book 4. Transfigure yourself into an animal that swims really fast. Eat a plant that enhances your swimming speed by temporarily transforming your hand and feet. There's so many options.
Gillyweed. Is it gillyweed or jillyweed?
I don't know.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah. Maybe someone could also like invent a potion to substitute the plant and enhance the desired effect. If such a potion doesn't exist already, which I assume it doesn't, because otherwise someone would have probably used that. And then the suggestion for Harry wouldn't have been let's just say it's called gillyweed. Gillyweed? I have no clue.
Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, there are so many ways to get creative with a task like that, and that can make it very entertaining to watch. So why don't they have that?
Because the author couldn't be bothered to invent proper sports.
Yeah.
Enough about sports. Sports are annoying. I hate sports. Unless it's martial arts, I guess.
I'm almost afraid to ask, why martial arts?
Because most of them can be deadly.
Ah, of course. Yeah.
Moving on. We get another odd POV shift in the middle of the match. Huh. Maybe all of the odd POV shifts are in the middle of the matches? Whatever. But I do like, and I shudder to praise anything you know wrote, that Hermione knocking over Quirrell is written in such a nonchalant way that it was barely significant enough to even be mentioned. So, nicely misleading. Very nicely misleading.
Yeah. And if Snape being on fire really would have stopped Harry's broom being crazy, then he would have climbed on, he wouldn't have climbed on immediately when Hermione scooped up her her blue flames. Wouldn't he have first waited a bit, like trying to assess whether or not it really stopped doing all that crazy shit? Like, him climbing on the moment he does shows that the offhand mention of Hermione bumping into Quirrell was the thing that broke it. Or at least it is a hint towards that.
I don't actually think so. Because it's
No?
a bit hard to tell what the timing was like. From the way it was written, it seems like Snake being on fire stops the broom from moving around uncontrollably, and then Harry climbs up. It's like, when you read it, it's very hard to tell what the timing is like.
Yeah, I
So.
suppose that's true. Yeah.
Oh, well. So, yeah. That's that done. Then our heroic first years are in their path to unravel a mystery, and finally they get a clue. Because Hagrid couldn't keep his mouth shut. And people keep wondering why I wouldn't trust Hagrid with anything. Or not. Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there who agree with me. I'm sure the audience agrees with me. Or else. So, Chapter 12. The Mirror of Erised. And I have to say, Snow! Snow! Snow!
Yes, we all love our snow. Snow is amazing. And then it melts and you have all this sludge everywhere and you just wish the snow to be back.
Snow. No.
No.
Also, the Weasley twins threw snowballs at Quirrell's turban, which equates to throwing snowballs in Waldy's face.
Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't have done that, but they did, and I think they are kind of asking to be murdered here. Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think we won't be the first to point out that Draco is a badly written bully. He's very lame and boring, but that's just by bad writing. So, also, we'll ignore all the important, all the important. I keep saying important.
Unimportant.
All this unimportant. Nicholas Flamel stuff. Totally unimportant. It's time for Christmas presents.
Yes, time for Christmas presents.
Harry finally got some.
Congrats.
So, question is, why did James give Dumbledore his invisibility cloak? Why did Dumbledore need it in the first place? I mean, because it was a Deathly Hallow and Dumbledore suspected as much and there was part of him that still held on to the fantasies he and Grindelwald had when they were young, but I have issues with this. Issues.
And didn't the Potters kind of need that cloak when it was known that Voldy was after them? Like, there would have been at least the potential of one of them maybe managing to grab Harry and hide under the cloak together with Harry. And even if they had thought that they were safe under the Fidelius Charm, I would have appreciated it to simply be able to go outside. Because if they did they even go outside?
I mean, how would they have gotten supplies otherwise? Or maybe they just got serious and the others to get them the supplies.
Maybe some
I don't know.
supplies could be delivered. It's like, yeah, if you are hunted, I would like to have the security of the invisibility cloak to just go for a stroll, because you also shouldn't keep like a 1-year-old child and like coped up in the house all the time. You should go outside with them.
Well, I suppose the garden, backyard, whatever they have, might be included in the Fidelius Charm.
Who knows? We never get to know.
Okay, so Dumbledore is responsible for the Potters getting killed.
Yes.
Glad we have that cleared up. So, time to sneak around, as Dumbledore had probably planned, considering the timing of this gift and the position of the mirror. But first, the Nicholas Flamel situation we're still not talking about. Shouldn't the restricted section have some magical barriers? Like wards and other protective spells, maybe an alarm or something? A mere rope won't stop anyone sneaking in at night. Invisibility cloak or not. So it's like there should be something preventing entry without permission.
And
anything.
And now, why would we start here with the things that make sense?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Mirror of Desire. I knew exactly what I would see in there, and I do not wish to ever encounter the damn thing. That would be a horrible idea. Just no.
No.
Also, having Harry find the mirror was definitely part of Dumbledore's great plan. Woolen socks? Liar.
Yeah, definitely a liar. And Dumbledore also just casually spying on Harry and Ron when they visit the mirror. Not creepy at all. No.
Nah, perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. This is Hogwarts.
It's perfectly normal behavior, spying on the students.
So what would you see in the mirror, Cecilia? I'm not telling, but maybe you'd be willing to share with our audience.
I would tell if I knew. I think this is something deeply connected with your feelings, and feelings change over time, and we know that feelings are always complicated. So I do not have an answer for you, but if I had to take a spontaneous guess, me having my witch powers back. Because I would very much like to have my powers back. Thank you very much.
I suppose. But is that your greatest desire in life?
Who knows?
Chapter 13, Nicholas Flamel. Oh, great, more Quidditch. Anyway, so Neville gives the trio the clue they needed to find Nicholas Flamel. And now we're talking about him. In a second. So, in my copy, the Dark Wizard Grindelwald is written with a capital D but lowercase w, both in this chapter and the train ride earlier on the chocolate frog card. And it looks really weird.
Yeah, that does look kind of weird. Wonder why.
He's also never mentioned again until book 7, I believe, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering why she, who must not be named, decided to write it like that. But we question so much about her writing choices, so maybe we shouldn't add this one.
She's just not a good writer.
Yeah.
Never has been. So, we haven't mentioned the whole Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone thing yet, but enough people have talked about that, so why should we bother?
Yeah. US Americans, mostly, I think.
Normally, I would do some extensive research about the real lore and history and stuff of the Philosopher's Stone, which I actually did, but unrelated to Harry Potter. But yeah, I'm not doing that for Harry Potter, so I'm not dragging up the notes I once did years ago. No, not for Harry Potter.
Not in here. If someone in our audience is interested in that whole thing, just look it up yourself.
It's very fascinating outside the context of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And in any other circumstances, I would do the research and present my notes because I love doing research, and like my notes are always like 90% research stuff, except for Harry Potter.
Maybe it will come up again at some other point in some other media, and then you can enlighten us.
I already know where it will come up. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Brotherhood. If we're talking about anime.
I'm talking about the manga.
Of course you're talking about the manga.
And I will probably keep saying manga and manga interchangeably. The mango manga.
Mango manga. Yep. So I can keep correcting you that it's manga?
No. It's the same with Panda and Panda.
True.
And we were both at fault for that one.
Yeah, we are.
That was funny editing.
Yeah.
It was like, it was really fun. Anyway, okay, back to Harry Potter. Giving Dumbledore the stone. First of all, why was it in Gringotts in the first place? Wouldn't like a 600-plus-year-old wizard and his wife be powerful enough, have learned so much over the years, to be able to defend themselves from anything without needing the man who waited to fight Dark Lord Grindelwald until last possible moment and never defeated Dark Lord Voldy? It's like more nitpicking on this later.
Maybe they are just not fans of fighting. They were probably attacked multiple times in the past, or people tried to break in and steal the stone. So
because of the chocolate. Yes, look, because if they had never advertised that they have the stone, then no one would have ever come to attack them.
Yeah, true enough. But it was such a great achievement, so maybe they just didn't really think about it for a moment, and then it got out, and then there was no way of hiding it again. Just one lapse in like being cautious about it all, and then whoops.
Also. Why steal the stone when you can steal the people who made it and torture them to reveal their secrets? Or just use the legitimacy on them?
That is a good question, and I don't have an answer for that. I mean,
because why would the Flamels be safer than the stone?
Yeah.
If they can't protect the stone, they can't protect themselves, obviously.
Yeah, and if you just go ahead and kill them, then the stone, who would the stone then belong to? So maybe then it would be easier to acquire it, or like first try to get them to tell their secrets and how to make the stone, and if they don't and accidentally die in the process, you could still go after the stone itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, precisely.
But anyways, yeah, maybe they were just not fans of fighting, and let's assume they're just safe, I suppose. So they eventually decide to destroy the stone in Gringotts, because, I mean, Gringotts is supposed to be bloody safe, so they don't have to worry about it. Like, why? But why did they then move it to the school in the first place? If it is so much safer that way, then why hadn't they done that before? If the goal is to keep the stone safe, and as we see, the school is not that much safer because 11-year-old children can get to the stone.
2 words. Fidelius Charm.
Yeah.
And other warding magics that a witch and a wizard of over 600 years of age who figured out how to create the bloody Philosopher's Stone would surely know. Merlin's sake.
2 words. Bad writing. And now I'm gonna add some more words. Fidelius Charm needs a secret keeper, doesn't it? What happens if the secret keeper dies? They would need to find...
Just make Dumbledore the secret keeper.
Yes, but you would have to maybe then the Fidelius Charm would break when Dumbledore dies,
also,
and then you would
just
need to
make some random acquaintance the secret keeper that no one knows about, because you don't tell people.
They would need to find someone else regularly who they trust enough with this secret. Maybe they just didn't want to bother with that?
Going on the assumption that the secret keeper can't live under the Fidelius Charm.
Oh, yeah.
Which is never confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We also get another random POV switch here during the Quidditch match, who would have thought?
Oh, wow.
And then after the match, the conversation between Snape and Quirrell is something I find rather interesting, especially the bit about loyalties. Considering that Snape at this point, well, Snape was a double agent, technically still is, because Dumbledore believes Voldy will return, and he is talking to the very person currently possessed by a Voldy parasite, so... it's a bit... Actually, I want to put that under bad writing as well, so let's move on.
Yep.
Chapter 14, Norbert, the Norwegian Witchbag.
Oh.
Which starts with exams. Well, Hermione freaking out about exams, and I'm like, oh, exams. Those exist.
Yeah. Those do exist. Hi.
And then Hagrid, being as subtle as always, looking up dragons in the library. Also, I wrote down, Ron mentions the Warlocks Convention in 1709. There's the Warlock word again. Odd world building, let's ignore it. So, why do dragons need to be hush-hush in the first place? Why is it necessary to hide them from muggles? I get why you shouldn't keep them as a pet and how that would expose the magic community, but wild ones? You should just have it be common knowledge and let them be treated like your average highly dangerous wild animal, like scorpions and vipers and crocodiles.
Maybe they know that muggles have a lot of stories involving dragons and magic. So they thought if we have to hide one thing, then why not the other as well?
But if the dragons had always just been there, they would be just your normal, average, dangerous animal.
Maybe they want to protect the muggles from dragons, because dragon could just fly into a village and go, nom nom nom, easy prey. Nom.
Delicious humans.
Yes.
Freshly roasted.
Freshly roasted humans, how delicious. Yeah, for for later on, one could argue that they want to protect the dragons from the muggles. Because once their technology has advanced to a certain point, they would have probably just hunted the dragons down, and they are already an endangered species. I mean, humans would probably, or muggles would probably perceive the dragons as a threat and would want to try and tame them, train them, and do other scientific shit. It's just like, yeah, it would result in a lot of casualties overall. And if you ask why dragons, you could also ask why centaurs and phoenixes and the like.
Centaurs are capable of rational thought and human-like intelligence.
Yes, so muggles would find that very interesting and
yeah, so the centaurs can decide for themselves. The centaurs can decide for themselves.
Okay.
And I suppose phoenixes just don't. I mean, you wouldn't be able to stop Fox if you wanted to go to a human, but don't think phoenixes would do that. Also, here you go again, trying to bring logic into this mess.
Still not sorry.
I didn't expect you to be. Alright, let's visit Hagrid. Hagrid offers the kids stoat sandwiches. And I'm like, who would eat stoats and why? Are stoats not protected against hunting or something? And then again, it's Hagrid. Why was the Philosopher's Stone in the Gringotts in the first place again? You already, and then Hagrid is so easy to manipulate. Like some little 11-year-old can do it. A random stranger in a dingy pub can do it. This is definitely not someone you should trust with a secret.
Nope. But someone who can get you a highly dangerous magical creature if you want to protect some secret.
Right. Oddly enough, for a book about magic isn't actually featured all that much. It isn't, is it?
I don't think so, no.
I also found this book rather boring altogether. Like, the first chapters up until we reach Hogwarts, I can imagine reading these with apt attention. I had not read them so many times already. I descended into hating the entire series. They're not the most exciting, best-written piece of literature, but the world building seems intriguing. But once we reach Hogwarts and got sorted, the rest of the book just sort of falls flat.
Yeah, it really is not that exciting to read. Like, it's okay when you haven't descended into hatred just yet. Maybe there was a reason why who had problems getting this published.
Then, I mean, part of that was the times, of course.
Yes, of course.
YA fantasy books weren't really a thing back then. And, well, when you think deeper about it and discover the world building is utter rubbish and the writing style was mediocre all along, it just falls apart. Back to the story. We have this whole Hagrid hiding an illegal fire-breathing dragon in his wooden hut, and the trio protecting his secret, and oh no, Malfoy found out and is now looking smug thing. It's actually kind of stupid. It is kind of stupid.
Yeah, a bit.
Now that I think about it.
But this is a children's book about magic, so we needed a dragon side story.
It's not even Charlie, an adult. More adult than Hagrid. Charlie, who's like the most responsible of the bunch. Not even he makes a responsible choice. Nope. Smuggle the illegal dragon out. It will be perfectly fine.
Yeah, the author probably didn't want the trio to get into trouble. And so they decided to teach children that it is okay to do illegal things to solve the problem of something illegal.
Perfectly normal. Yes.
Perfectly normal.
Perfectly good moral lesson.
Yes. So they learn how to treat werewolf bites and defense in year 1. So werewolves are part of the first year curriculum and the third year curriculum. Why?
There is no curriculum for defense. Doesn't have a curriculum. It doesn't. There is none.
But shouldn't there be at least a orientational guideline or something?
Well, why would there be when it's wizards?
I suppose they don't have a department for education in the ministry.
Oh, they definitely do. I assume it works like Arthur's does. Arthur's does, so like...
Yeah.
It's there. It doesn't do its job.
Yeah. I'm moving on. Harry has the feeling that Snape can read minds. Interesting.
Now that is proper foreshadowing. And I think something similar is mentioned in regards to Dumbledore as well at some point. Something like X-ray eyes or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
But like, yeah. Also, this might be a bit illegal because I don't think you should use mind reading on unassuming students without their consent.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that, but are we even surprised at this point? Because I certainly am not.
Nah. Alright. Chapter 15. The Forbidden Forest. Time for detention. Let's do this. Alright. No context given. Is there anyone who thinks sending the kids into the Forbidden Forest with Hagrid makes sense for detention? Detention should be a punishment, not a rule-breaking and fear-inducing adventure to help an injured unicorn.
Like, the Forbidden Forest is forbidden for a reason, and I don't think Hagrid is enough to protect the kids from everything that is in there. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Next, we never get to see how Centaurs live. Do they have houses? Do they sleep standing? Are they vegan? What's their culture like? And same for goblins and mere people.
Yeah, we never see anything like that. Like, maybe a bit on mer people in book 4, but also not really, if I remember correctly. It's like, it would have been nice for sure, but then you know who would have had to come up with more stuff, so we didn't get it.
Also, what does having a half-life, a cursed life mean? How does it affect Wooly? Or is it only affecting Quirrell? Who's the one drinking the unicorn blood? Why does this never come up again?
Yeah, what exactly do they mean with this half-life and cursed life? Like, because you only do it if you are on the brink of death anyway. So half of the rest of your life doesn't make sense. And in what way would it curse you that it is only considered to be a half-life afterwards? Like, more explanations, please?
No explanation given. Conveniently forgotten right after it was mentioned. Forever.
As always.
Oh, yes. Fear of the name. But no one ever explains why the magical word fears the name Lord Voldemort. Like, was there a taboo last time, or did Wooly only discover how everyone fearing his name already would make such a spell very useful the second time around? But then, why do people fear his name to such extremes in the first place if there was no taboo in the First War?
Yeah, I have no clue. A taboo would make the most sense. Everything else doesn't. At least to me. Like, also, shouldn't Gryffindors be brave enough to speak the name if it's only the name and not a taboo? Like, I guess the children were taught to fear the name, but the parents who fought in the war, like, facing the Death Eaters and creatures head on, I can't see them being afraid of the names if it's if it's only the name. And if they are not afraid of the name, then why would they teach their children to be afraid of that name?
It's weird. Like, yeah, even if you were fighting in the war against Wooly, like, most weren't actually. Most didn't fight. It's so odd. Also, I think Hermione at one point starts fearing the name, and I'm like, you're Muggle-born, you didn't even grow up with this. What is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
I mean, at first she's like most likely adapting to what she hears around her and calling him like not by the name, but
she's around Harry a bunch, and Harry never ever developed a fear of the name.
Yeah. Maybe it's just for what we don't notice the time she maybe, hopefully, potentially does spend with other people, like with the girls in her dormitory, maybe.
She doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's always with the boys.
Another thing
Can't be healthy
that we
for her.
just don't know why and doesn't make sense. Why is Hermione afraid of the name as well?
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. Dumbledore knows everything in this school. He even found an abandoned invisibility cloak on the astronomy tower. Although perhaps McGonagall told him about the students out of bed and then he went to investigate. Still, one of his teachers having Voldy living in the back of his head should not have gone unnoticed, yet he did nothing about it at all. And if he didn't notice, surely Snape told him about his suspicions and Dumbledore should have investigated the matter. He does know someone's after the stone after all.
Yeah, or maybe Dumbledore just wanted Harry to do it specifically because no concern for the safety of the children in this school. And
Do what specifically?
like for Harry to specifically go after the stone himself and face Voldy again. That Dumbledore wanted Harry specifically to have that confrontation. But yeah, maybe he also hoped to break the curse on the defense teacher job. Like, does he suspect that Voldy put it there? Like, is there even a curse or something along those lines on the defense teacher position?
It is called a jinx, and it is confirmed to have been put there by Voldy, and Dumbledore knows about it. He knew from the beginning. Well, not maybe from the beginning, but he tells it's in year 6 during the lessons, and he shows Harry the memory of Voldy coming to Hogwarts for the position and stuff. And Dumbledore's like, yeah, ever since then, we haven't been able to keep a teacher in the defense position ever since. And that's like, this jinx existed for 40 years, give or take. Lots of teachers coming and going.
Yeah, so maybe Dumbledore hoped that now that Voldy is off back of the head of the defense teacher, the jinx would get broken. I can see Dumbledore just like accepting the safety hazard just to do that because 40 would be a lot of teachers to go through. So, and also, why do people still accept this job if they all know that they will only last a year? And I think there are probably multiple cases where the defense teacher ended up dead.
I mean, they don't. Umbridge is, case in point is Umbridge. That there was no teacher who wanted, so Umbridge. Quirrell might have done it because of Voldy, or if he accepted before his encounter with the parasite, perhaps he thought himself capable of breaking the jinx. Or maybe that's fanon. Lockhart was, well, Lockhart. Lupin was desperate. Moody was actually not Moody, and then Umbridge came because Dumbledore apparently couldn't find anyone. Though whether that is actually true remains to be seen. And then Snape finally got his wish, and then Death Eaters.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe Dumbledore just willingly took the risk of having Quirrell with Voldy in the school because maybe he already had like a bit of trouble to secure teachers. Because as you said, we see what kind of teachers he gets and then doesn't get. But still, it took 40 teachers for Dumbledore not to find anyone. That's still a lot.
Give or take, yes.
Yeah, wow. Wizards are stupid.
Or, well, Dumbledore can be quite persuasive.
A manipulative old bastard.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 16? Through the Trapdoor.
But first, exams. Once again, how does an anti-cheating quill work exactly? Like, how does it know that you are not copying something down but writing it from memory? Can it force you to only look at the parchment in front of you?
I think that depends on the kind of cheating, I guess. No clue.
Yeah, something else that just never gets explained. And how did Hermione get 112% on her charms exam? Like, did she write stuff down that she learned from books as supplementary research? Something that wasn't mentioned or taught in class and got bonus points for that?
Probably. Some of the people I know from that school you would have been bullied at once told me about some genius kid getting extra points that made up for points they lost due to careless mistakes. I think I also heard of exams where the total amount of points necessary for the highest mark was less than can be achieved by answering every question. And, I mean, some exams have bonus questions for bonus points to make up for stuff you don't know.
Oh yeah. I think we also sometimes, but very rarely, had a bonus question or two.
And aren't some graduation systems also constructed in a way that where like full marks in every subject or even in almost every subject would amount to more than a mark equal to 100%?
Yeah, right. I get it.
Okay, trapdoor. Oh gosh. Hero complex Gryffindor Harry. Trying to save the day. So sure he knows better than everyone. So sure he has to make sure Snape won't steal the stone. Ugh. What if Quirrell had gone to retrieve the stone during the day? Or before the trio finds out about Hagrid telling the stranger and Dumbledore being away? How fully convenient that it would happen after the exams, as with almost every following year, actually. Like, also, if first years, having barely learned any magic at all, can get through these tests, then they're really not secure at all. And the mirror alone would have been enough, and the whole thing can't be anything but a setup, otherwise it would be really, really stupid. Honestly, there are so many better ways to ensure the stone's safety. Like, if I were Nicholas Flamel or his wife, Perinal, I believe, I would have had a very stern word with Dumbledore. And Harry later even speculates that Dumbledore maybe wanted to give him a chance to face Voldy or something, which is so ridiculous.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it was probably all deliberate on Dumbledore's part, that he wanted Harry to get past all these obstacles and for him to face Voldy in the end.
Probably. Definitely.
Oh, yes, definitely. I could speculate whether or not he did it in order to gain more information on how Harry defeated Voldy. I could also not do that, because then Dumbledore would have needed to know what went on down there, and that would mean more spying from our dear headmaster, and I don't know if I want to think about that. But then again, he seems to know everything that goes on there anyways, and he is a crazy old man, so who knows at the end of the day.
Yeah, who knows. This is where my notes for this chapter end. But Cecilia wants to talk a bit about the rest, about the traps and stuff.
Yes. I mean, for one, I'm proud of Neville for standing up to the trio. He's slowly getting that Gryffindor courage.
That's a bad thing. He's become a victim of the bad sorting system.
But Neville had no self-confidence whatsoever, and he desperately needed some.
Still.
Yeah, I can see your point. Moving on. Imagine Harry dying when he jumps down the trapdoor. Like, book series over, protagonist dead, Quirrell gets the stone, Voldy comes back and goes on a killing spree.
Nice.
Ron or Hermione could have landed on top of him. He would have broken some bones at least. And the other person would also severely injure themselves. So then they're trapped there and no one comes to help and they can't get out and just die there.
Double nice.
As expected of you. Yeah, Hermione also said, "We must be miles under the school." So you jump down a trap door on the 3rd floor corridor and are now miles under the school? I get that children tend to exaggerate stuff, but still, even if you landed on something soft, if you fell from that height, then you would have injured yourself severely or died.
Bad writing.
Yeah. And then the devil's snare just goes, nom nom nom, delicious wizards. Do they regularly water and feed it and the troll too?
I'm sure Professor Sprout takes good care of her devils now. What do trolls even eat? Little children?
So the death count at Hogwarts goes up.
Or perhaps Dumbledore feeds the accidental deaths to the trolls.
Yeah, could also be all part of the cover, you know? Moving on to one of the next riddles, mysteries, I don't know. The key struggling in Harry's grasp reminds me of moths when you have to feed them. Like, you want to be nice and gentle and give them something to eat. Well, drink in their case, but they just don't like to be grabbed. Understandably so. And I also wouldn't like that. And you would also think like damaged wings that would make it easier because they can't fly away, obviously. But damaged wings do not mean that it becomes any easier. It could even be more difficult because they are just running away from you and they're so fast. You're like, how do you do that, you little thingy? Stop there! I just want to give you something to eat, to drink.
Do you train the moths to do some sort of work in your crime syndicate? Are they flesh-eating moths sent after your enemies?
No. I do not do anything to the moths other than feed them honey on occasion. And the honey was diluted in water previously. Otherwise, I just leave them be and look at them. The caterpillars, though.
Oh, flesh-eating caterpillars.
Anyways, moving on to something a bit bigger than a caterpillar. I got a bit confused for a bit when they came to the chess game and used the term castle instead of rook. So I looked it up, and apparently castle is an older term, but both can be used for chess.
Huh.
Wait, I looked something up again. And it was for Harry Potter.
Wow.
Oh no.
For Harry Potter of all things.
Oh no. I should never do that again.
Oh no.
I will never do that again. Okay.
Yes, please don't do that.
I also want to briefly talk about who made which task. Like Sprout, Devil's Snare, Flitwick charmed the keys, and McGonagall transfigured Chessman alive, and then Snape has the potions riddle.
That one was nice.
Yes, it was. Then you have the troll from Quirrell,
which came before Snape.
Whatever, that is not important. Because I was like wondering, like I would have thought that the keys belonged to McGonagall and the chessmen to Flitwick.
No, because the keys are charmed and the chess actually sounds like it's charmed too. Huh. Guess not.
Exactly. Like moving chessmen strike me as a charm and not a transfiguration. And for the birds, you could combine the key with bird wings, like a partial transfiguration. A transfiguration only having been half successful on purpose.
That doesn't really sound like transfiguration, but who cares? There is no magic system after all. How often are we going to say that?
Too often, but it's true, so who can blame us?
Chapter 17. The Man with Two Faces. A confrontation was had. We have no notes on it. Wait. Wait. I just realized. Since Wally doesn't have a human-shaped nose, he can properly bury his face into a purring mass of cat without it getting squished.
He could. So why does he not have a cat? Like he could have a cat in addition to his snake. It's a missed opportunity, if you ask me.
Anyway, I suppose at least Harry didn't actually kill Quirrell, nor did he watch him die after Wally left his body. Would have been bad for his mental well-being.
As if Dumbledore cares about Harry's mental well-being. Like, he sends the kid to fight a Dark Lord and then back to abusive relatives.
Sounds about right. Scheming bastard. You can't read this entire scene with Dumbledore and Harry and tell me there's no manipulation there. He's keeping vital information from Harry. He definitely lies to Harry about Snape's motivations.
Yeah, Dumbledore is a manipulative, bloody bastard.
Yep. Dumbledore is the real man with two faces here. He's not evil, of course, not like I am. I'm sure his intentions are good, but he does what he feels it needs to be done, manipulates people into actions he thinks they need to do for the greater good.
And isn't that what villains do as well a lot of the time? Like, do what they think needs to be done and no one else is doing. Doing things they think would benefit society in the long run.
I guess. Alright, so we go to the end of the year feast, for which I need to take a deep breath.
Me too.
Breathe in and out.
Deep.
Don't get angry. Do not get angry. I bloody king hate Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
Think Gryffindor favoring hypocrite hole. At least have the decency to give out the points to make your beloved Gryffindor win before the school year is officially over. No need to no need to snap us in front of the entire school, humiliate and embarrass us and rub it into our faces. We know how much you hate us and just love your Gryffindor. Yeah, you bastard. Oh.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you.
I needed to get that off my chest.
Yes. It's like 50 points for a chess game. 50 points for logic in the face of danger.
Well, okay, I can get that.
Yeah, I can get the logic as well. And then the 60 for nerve and courage. Do I get 60?
That was stupid.
Do I get 60 as well for compassion and hard work and loyalty? Do I get that as well? No? Okay, you only favor the Gryffindors, I see. And then 10 points for standing up to your friends. And it all seems so very unfair. Like, points for getting into trouble? Everyone other than Harry and his friends would have lost points. I get Neville being awarded points, but the rest? Not happy with that one. No, not happy. Not happy at all. It encourages foolhardiness.
This is 170 points added to 312 points. That's really excessive. That's really excessive. There's a version floating around where Gryffindor only had 262. And then adding 170 would have barely put them in second place, but like...
That somehow feels even more excessive. Like, it would mean that nearly 2/3 of the points they had would get added on top. Like, way too many points. It makes the points everyone gained over the course of the school year seem almost worthless.
Anyway, if Slytherin truly were full of evil bullies, we would not have won the House Cup in 6, almost 7 consecutive years. Those points have to be earned. If all we did was bully others, we'd never get any points at all, end up in the negatives rather. Even with Snape favoring us, there's no way we didn't earn those points by, earning them. Even when I first read the scene, back when I still loved those books, I hated Dumbledore for this.
And I, as a Hufflepuff, tell you that I would not have cheered for the downfall of Slytherin. Like, I would have been upset by the favoritism and that we are now in last place. Undeservedly so. Like, Slytherin earned those points, as did Ravenclaw with their intellect and us Hufflepuffs with our hard work.
What hard-earned points? You don't have any points.
Excuse you.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong. Anyways.
I'm not.
Gryffindor does not usually work hard they are rather lazy. They do have some who are intelligent or love learning. Like the Weasley twins are intelligent and Hermione does love learning, but they are the exception.
I don't think the twins earn points, though. The twins usually lose them for their pranks.
Yeah. See, even the ones that are intelligent don't use that intelligence to earn points, but use it to lose points. So add that to the mix as well. But everything gets better if a cat is snoring next to you, right? Because Toffee darling is currently snoring. It's like, yeah, getting awarded points for being the first one to volunteer to go up to a more dangerous creature in the care of magical creatures class. That I can see that being awarded points maybe, or willingly facing a boggart in class if you get the option to choose whether you want to face them or not, and in private, please and thank you. But they also lose a lot of points for pranks and the like. So they deserve last place, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's taking away the 150 points Harry and Co lost for Noberta, or let's say they hadn't lost those 150 points, right? It was still there, and then ignoring the part where Dumbledore just flaunts around his blatant favorism and puts them in second place. So how does Gryffindor have so many points?
And do you mean favoritism?
Sounds wrong. Anyway, yeah, so it's like if the trio didn't exist, Gryffindor would be in second place. Just naturally. And I'm like, how did they manage that? How did Gryffindor get in second place?
As I said, favoritism. That I have no other explanation for that. And yeah, as a last note, Neville's herbology mark making up for his abyssal potions one, but you need to pass every subject, no? Okay. Because to me it sounds like he failed potions and is only allowed to move on to second grade because he performed outstandingly in herbology.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, I don't want to say anything, but I suppose it's known that Snape is a bit bitchy, so...
Or maybe they just let it pass. Okay, that's it for book 1. That's it for this episode. Until our next episode, you can find us on Twitter. Our handle is @Ch10 Toffees. We are also on Spotify for those YouTube watchers.
And obviously on YouTube @Ch10 Toffees.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a comment. Seeing that this is the last part of book 1, what are your thoughts on the first Harry Potter book? Are you looking forward to us nitpicking book 2? Do you also have a cat that is snoring next to you and just makes your heart warm and makes all of this shit more bearable? Yes.
We hope you do.
We hope
a cat makes everything better.
Oh yes, it really does. So after you left your comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already.
Yes, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Am I still bleeding? Oh yeah, shit. Damn it.